What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Tobin here with you. Listen, if you guys want to watch our show every single morning, 6 to 10 a.m., me and Leroy, go tune in, twitch.tv/790 the ticket. And if you guys just want to watch the clip version, you guys can go to youtube.com/790 the ticket. That is where you guys can find the Tobin and Leroy radio show, and it is there to watch at your leisure. Hope you stick around for this one, but I know a lot of people have been asking, hey, where's the radio show? Where did it go? That is where it is available now. You want to watch it live every morning or watch the full version of it, twitch.tv/790 the ticket. And if you guys just want to watch clip version, youtube.com/790 the ticket. Thanks for your support for everything you guys have been doing with us. Now, look, man, we were talking about this on the show earlier today. Not surprisingly, I got a lot of flack for it from my co-host Leroy Horde, and that was that Deebo Samuel has officially made a stink. He made a stink. And you know that I've been riding this theory for a long time, all right? Probably longer than anybody. Because, dude, I venture with this, I don't consider myself a journalist by any means. I think there are real people out there who cover the team. They got to have accountability. They got to have sources. I'm not a source guy. People always say, Toby, what are your sources saying to this? I am not one of these people that has a ton of sources. I am a tea leaf reader, okay? I can just read the vibes. I'm boots on the gram, dude. I know social media behavior. I can get the vibes off quotes, things that happen. I'm very good at that. Like, as soon as I can see something that's a little bit off on social media, I'm just like, that dude's out. Rat's off a ship. He is out. And as soon as I saw that Deebo Samuel was having a brunchy brunch with McCochin back in the day, it just raised my eyebrow. First of all, he's hanging out in Miami. Loves it down here. Who doesn't? It's the best. And McCochin and him vibing, having a burger. I would just find it surprising that two guys, especially a guy like McCochin, who seems like he is a player's coach, like young, guys like talking to him, guys like hanging with him. He's talking this week, I want to go hang out with Tua. I was bummed that Tua didn't bring me to hang out. And now Tua, and you can tell Tua felt bad. Tua's like, oh, man, I probably should have invited old McCochin over. And he just wants to, I don't know if it's just watch Netflix or if it's barbecue or play dominoes or whatever, but he wants to hang. When you vibe with somebody like that and you talk to somebody like that, obviously your wishes, frustrations, work stuff, all that stuff's going to be on the table. Like, you're not just going to say, hey, how's the kids? That's not how it's going to roll. I'm sure that's there in the opening credits, and it's right there at the beginning of the meal, but it's not going to be there the whole time. There's obviously going to be bringing up some kind of work drama. Like, I know if I were to go talk to some kind of a colleague, they're going to say, hey, what are things like over there at 790 the ticket? How are things? And we'll tell them how things are, whether I'm happy or disgruntled or whatever. I'm happy right now, by the way, just for the record. But I just think that I would find it surprising if Deebo Samuel and Mike McDaniel had a lunch and it was never brought up, hey, what's your happiness like with San Francisco? And maybe also that McCochin's doing a little crooning, just a little bit of sniffing around, Now, one big thing did happen since this brunch, and that is the Dolphins got Tyreek Hill, and they made him the highest paid receiver in the league. Okay, big deal. But as this was all happening, Deebo's down here in Miami a lot. He's going out with Dolphins players. He is going to Heat games. And look at this, and I'm thinking to myself, guy seems to enjoy it down here. Who wouldn't? Again, it's awesome. But I'm wondering, is it still possible that this guy wants out? And there was a lot of talk this week in reports, all these receivers aren't going to show up to workouts, him, A.J. Brown. And where's their status with the team? And lo and behold, this week, the bomb dropped. Because I was saying back then with the McCochin, I think McCochin goes to him and he goes, even this before he has Tyreek Hill, he goes, hey, make a stink. Come back to me. We know these guys have a great relationship. The credit, McDaniel's given the credit for making Deebo what he was, the Swiss Army knife, the dynamic playmaker, the real breakout year that he had last year. McCochin, they feel like is a big part of that. They're like, it's almost every question at McDaniel's press conference this year was, hey, how can you do this and find the next version of Deebo Samuel and all that? It's like how can I compare it? It's like, when Adam Gase was asked about, I guess, Jay Cutler, or Adam Gase was asked about Peyton Manning, this guy's going to be asked about Deebo Samuel. And that's kind of his calling card. So would it be crazy to think that at one point in that meal, McDaniel's like, like in San Francisco, we can try and make a play for you here. Now, again, obviously the Tyreek Hill thing happened. And Tyreek Hill more credentialed than Deebo Samuel. I think better than Deebo Samuel. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at Legion of Zoom, as it's been so beautifully dubbed by Dolphins social media, that it's great to have Jalen Waddle and it's great to have Tyreek Hill. I'm happy about it. I'm excited for next year. But why not just go willy-nilly? I don't understand this. He officially requested trade this week. He does what I think McCoachin would tell him to do. Make a stink. M-A-S. Make a stink. And I feel like, in my opinion, the Dolphins have been sitting here. They're trying to figure out whether Tua Tagovailoa is the dude, right? They got this coach who has an immaculate relationship with this specific player. I'm not doing this move if it doesn't have the tie-in with McCoachin, okay? And I'm also not doing this move, just so I'm clear, because people are going to say you're irresponsible, you're an idiot. Fine. I own it. If there was another lineman on the market of this caliber of player, and you would say, Toa, do you want another lineman of Deebo Samuel's quality? I'm not going to sit here and act like I know every free agent lineman. That's not my thing. Or would you want Deebo Samuel? I would say we should probably get the lineman. But they got one. They got Teron Armstead. But I'm saying if there was another guy of that quality available, I would say keep bolstering up the line. Keep building the wall. But very clearly, they're going to go in the situation of Teron Armstead, and they're going to move around the young guys who they used high draft capital on, and they're going to try and make them better and see what the best fit is. That's pretty clearly what they're going to do. Jesse Davis rats off a ship. Thank God. Probably addition by subtraction in my mind. And I think that the line is, for the most part, set. Yeah, there's maybe some questions at center, but I think the guys that they have there already are going to be the guys that are probably going to play. And so I look at that and I'm like, all right, so there's no lineman to go get with that money, right? With whatever cap space they got left. And by the way, the salary cap in the NFL is as fugazi as hell. Changes every year, all right? It's a myth. You got all this Apple money that's going to be coming in. It's going to be booming soon. Business is going to be booming, all right? Restructured deals. The big thing that you got to do when it comes to getting these big, high-priced talents, in my mind, is you got to get as many of them as possible before you got to pay your quarterback. So they got a time on a couple things here. One, to figure out if Tua's any good, and two, whether they got to pay Tua, right? They don't have to pay Jalen Waddle anytime soon. He is going to be a free agent much more down the line because he was just a rookie last year. I think the next guy they really got to figure out paying is probably Christian Wilkins, and figure that out there. So, maybe that is going to get done, and that nukes the idea. But let's just say it doesn't. Let's say they don't sign Christian Wilkins to an extension this year, right? And they go the route of Mike Gesicki with him next year, right? You got this opportunity here to get a guy, superstar player, add him next to another superstar player. And you could say, all right, you don't invest that much in one position. Well, first of all, the Chargers have done it. They did it with Keenan Allen and with Mike Williams. I think they are 6th and 7th in payment, which means at one point they were both top 5 because those numbers keep getting moved down because of new deals. So they have 2 of the highest paid wide receivers. They're 2 top 10 guys, right? So the Dolphins would essentially be in this position where they probably would have to have 2 top 2 guys paid. But couple things. One, Deebo Samuel, Swiss Army knife, does a little bit of everything. And I know the reports are out there that he doesn't want to do the running back thing anymore because it's a toll on his body. Here's the thing, though. If he gets his contract, he's going to do what the team wants him to do. He just wants to get paid, It's like one of these things where the big thing he wants is to be shown the respect and be invested in like any star player would. And so I see these reports of, he doesn't want to do this. First of all, if he goes to a place that has a coach who he has a great relationship with, that he shares, do you go to brunch with anybody you don't like that's not a relative? No. So you have a brunch buddy coaching your team, knows how to use you, knows your strengths, knows your weaknesses, knows how to make you look like a star. That whole, I'm not going to do this, get out of here. Come on, dude. Come on. Especially if you get the dough you want. And the big question is, all right, so if you're the Dolphins, do you want to keep saying F them picks? And do you offer a king's ransom for him? Does it take a king's ransom? Because now he's disgruntled. Like, once we see this, is it a 2 first-round pick deal? Is it a 1 first-round pick deal? Is it this year's pick? Are you going to do a situation where you have 2 next year, you want to give them both up? Or 1 and 1? Or could you do it for a 1 and 2 and a 3, just like you did for Tyreek Hill, essentially, and with the San Francisco 49ers trade? Take that. The one thing that is weird here, though, is the extra pick that you have next year is the 49ers pick. So you have yourself almost a Texan situation here, right? Like, where you're kind of dealing with the same assets. And so that's a weird thing for the team. I don't know. The other thing is, too, the Jets, very heavily rumored team to go get him. I would like to, think that you wouldn't want to face that guy twice a year. I also think, like, this idea that you can't have too much of a good thing. You can't have too many guys making money at the position. One, I feel like this is a unique situation because of the time of year. 2, you have a coach who knows him better than anybody else in the league, so I feel like it's not going to be wasted upon. I feel like you have a coach who is innovative, who knows that having that many game breakers could really, really mess up a defense. I don't feel like there is of need. I don't feel like there's a lot of places where you can go plug the holes with anymore. And also, I feel like with the clock you're on right now with your offense and Tua not making that star money, this is the time to go invest in stars. Cleveland did it. The Chargers are doing it. The Bengals kind of did it with the O-line. So for me, I'm just looking at it, and I get it. On its front, you want to say, no. We got to spread that money around. We got to spread it on other needs and things like that. Cool. Okay, I hear you out. But here's the thing, though, dude. Why don't we get a little bit unique, all right? You're going to tell me Stephen Ross. I'll tell you one thing with Stephen Ross. He'll spend the money, all right? Let's be real about it. Dude is building a racetrack over there in Miami Gardens that nobody seems to want. Guy's doing all kinds of loopholes and fine painting to make it happen. Guy tried to circumvent, allegedly, the salary cap by having Tom Brady as a part owner. Maybe bribed his coach. Maybe allegedly bribed his coach to lose games. So not only is the dude his money not an object for Stephen Ross, but that dude is going to try and find a unique way to make it happen. And so, yeah, it's going to be a little bit weird because you would think you don't invest that much in 2 guys who you didn't draft. However, you can't say that they're not bona fide stars. They are. And you also have Jalen Waddle. It's almost like you would have like a big 3 of wide receivers, a big 3 of speed, a.k.a. the Legion of Zoom, as they're calling them. A Wade, LeBron, Bosch, big 3 at the wide receiver core. It would be huge. And you would know for sure, because you keep giving Tua all these assets and all these weapons and all these options to go through. What did he say yesterday? That he doesn't feel more pressure, he feels more opportunity. Make that opportunity even bigger, dude. Make it even bigger. You make that opportunity just like Deebo made a stink. Like I said that he would. Because I bet you, out of all the teams, if you did have to ask him, all things being the same, all contracts being the same, where would you want to be? I bet you it'd be Miami. I bet you would want to line up along Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I bet you'd want to be part of an offense with the coach that he really loves. I bet you want to be in the city that he really wants to be in. The question is, are you willing to be unconventional? Are you willing to do something that people are going to say is irresponsible? Are you willing to risk it a little bit and put a lot of faith that Tua is going to figure this thing out? Or are you too worried about it? You just want to be like every other team. Me? You know me, dude. I like being willy-nilly. I like feeling alive. 305, dude. Make it happen.